YouTube? Today we're going to be disassembling. I will be showing you how to clean and then reassembling the Mossberg 590M magazine fed. This would be classified as other firearm because it's technically not a shotgun. So to start, we're going to drop the magazine and check that that weapon is cleared and safe, which it is. And then the first part of the disassembly, like any shotgun, half cock it, unscrew it, and pull the barrel off. Now we're going to take a punch and we're going to punch out these 3 pins. This shouldn't take a lot of force at all. They should come out very easily. So just a couple taps and each one comes out. Now the nice thing about this design is all 3 pins are different sizes, making it easier to make sure they go back in the right spot. Once you've got them started, you should be able to pull them out nice and easy. Then we're going to pull the magazine catch out, and then our trigger should pop right out. After that's where it gets a little tricky. So we've got to slide this back to right where, well, normally that doesn't pop right off if it's dirty, but we're gonna slide that so it's even with the open space between the cuts on the inside of the receiver. And we're just gonna pop these 2 pieces out right here. You've got the guide and your bolt. And the bolt might wedge in there a little bit, but with a little bit of persistence, it should come right out. Make sure you pull it far enough back because there is a catch in there that will fight you if you don't. And then this should slide right out. So now you've got it disassembled and ready to clean. For cleaning, I use Ballistol. I get all the pieces nice and coated, and I will use a bronze brush to clean all of the little pieces, and then some kind of bore brush, brass or bronze, to scrape the gunk off the inside of the bore, and then somewhere to clean it out. You should, if you are successful, get a nice mirrored finish. Now we're ready to reassemble our firearm. We're gonna start in reverse order by taking out the guide rods. And we're gonna put a little bit of lubrication on the side here. Properly lubricating your firearm will help keep it from wearing and help it last better, or help it perform better and last longer. So a little bit of lubrication on there doesn't ever hurt. Slide that back in, and we're gonna hold these bars, which tilt right here, all the way to the top of those guide slots. So work them in and hold them to the top and slide that guide in. There is a little catch for these if they sit at the bottom of the slot, so you gotta make sure to hold them at the top. So pull up and push in. And that should slide right in just like that. So now we can watch, and the slot on those guide rods, we need to be about at the front slot inside of that receiver. Now we're gonna take our bolt and slide that in. We're gonna lubricate both sides and the top of the bolt to help keep it from wearing on the side of that receiver. If your hands get a little oil on them, it's okay. This is not a clean process. Slide that bolt in, get it past that catch, and you should hear it click in. Now we're gonna put in our bolt slide, but first we're gonna oil the sides of it as well as the top that goes against the bolt. So this hook side is what's gonna go towards the front against the bolt. So with the hook down and the small little grooves forward, we're going to hold our bolt downward so that it flattens it out, and we're gonna put this in backside down first, and then this front side should pop down. And if everything's lined up, it should pop right into place. Sometimes that bolt ends up at a weird angle and you kind of got to work it around a little bit. Sometimes it's easier just to pull it out and restart. So we need to push that bolt down, get it straightened out, and try to hold that there as straight as possible. Put this in that direction we talked about. Got the bolt a little too far back there. I think I can save it, just slide it forward. So there's a hook on the bottom side of this bolt that needs to be able to clear that bolt slide in order for it to go in all the way. Pull that bolt forward until that sits in, then you can pull it forward all the way until it locks in. And now we're gonna reassemble our trigger. So we're gonna put the trigger in, making sure it's all the way back and the hammer is down. So if you open the hammer to clean it, just make sure you push that back into a set position and you push that down and towards the back. You should be able to line up that big hole with your large pin, and that should push in there with nothing more than your hands. Then you're going to take your mag release and you're going to put the L shape facing the trigger, and these two holes are going to line up with these two holes. And so you're going to put that all the way in there. You should be able to slide those right in to where those holes line up. And then you're going to take the larger of those two pins, and that one's going to go on the bottom. Yeah, the larger one goes on the bottom. Takes a little wiggle in it sometimes, and the small one on top, and those should just push in. Sometimes a little tap just helps them get started, then they slide right in. Now for the barrel, just like when you disassembled it, half cock it, slide it in there, make sure it clicks all the way in, and then barrel nut back on top, tighten that down, and then give it a little wipe off with a clean rag. And your gun is now clean and ready to be used again. Thanks for watching.